She was 22, bright, beautiful, and almost at the finish line of her college journey. Deborah Miles had a future mapped out with clarity. She had only returned to her university town in Georgia to complete her final clearance paperwork before graduation. Her family was proud, her friends adored her, and her dreams were finally within reach. Hey, would you like to be a part of us on this channel? Click the subscribe button now to join us on Crime Whisper. Turn on your notifications and leave a like. But in June of 2025, a cruel twist of fate silenced that future forever. This isn't just a story about a murder. It's a story about trust, manipulation, and a darkness that hides in plain sight. A man with a plan. A girl who simply believed. Deborah had recently celebrated her 22nd birthday. Friends said she was radiant, glowing with that unmistakable kind of joy that comes when you believe life is finally unfolding in your favor. Somewhere around that same time, she met Emmanuel Gamble, a 200-level student from a neighboring college. They hit it off quickly. Maybe they had been texting for a while. Maybe they met at a birthday hangout. Maybe, just maybe, Deborah felt seen. And so, on June 4th, she agreed to meet him for a casual evening. It started as a simple hangout. Emmanuel even walked her back to her apartment after. But instead of calling it a night, they decided to get a hotel room. A quiet place, just for the two of them. Deborah came prepared. Her tablet, a change of clothes, her phone, and a bottle of wine. She wasn't naive. She was intentional. From all indications, this was someone she liked. Someone she was willing to trust. But that night would be the last time anyone ever saw her alive. Days passed. Her parents called. No answer. Her siblings texted. No reply. Friends grew worried. The girl who had only come to town for paperwork had now vanished without a trace. A missing person report was filed. And then, the smell. A local motel staff had noticed a pungent, growing odor coming from one of their rooms. Several guests had checked in and out since that night, sleeping in the same bed. No one suspected a thing. But when the cleaning crew decided to investigate further, they discovered something horrifying. Wrapped in a hotel bedsheet, stuffed beneath the bed frame, was the decomposing body of a young woman. It was Deborah. The motel was a budget chain, nothing fancy. No CCTV in the hallways, no cameras at the entrance. The guest who checked in had used a fake name, so the staff had no idea who he really was. But he had vanished after a single night. Left the room clean with only a stench trailing behind. At first, the police had no clue who the victim was. But when Deborah's family filed the missing report, their description matched the unidentified corpse found days earlier. They were brought in to identify the body. It was her. The grief was immediate and suffocating. Who would do this? Why? With no camera footage or direct witnesses, investigators had only one angle to pursue. Her tech. Deborah's phone and tablet were missing, but her mobile network provided a glimmer of hope. The phone had been turned on briefly a few days later, pinging a tower not far from the college. That led the police straight to Emmanuel Gamble. He had Deborah's phone, her tablet, her belongings. He said he found them, but couldn't explain how. Under pressure, he cracked. And what he said shocked everyone. Emmanuel admitted to being with Deborah that night. He claimed it was transactional. According to him, Deborah was a sex worker. He said he paid her $10 the night before, and that the next morning she demanded more. He refused. An argument ensued. He claimed she threatened to scream, to call for help. In the heat of it, he said he panicked, strangled her, and wrapped her body in a sheet. Then he fled, stealing her phone and tablet, tossing the rest of her items out the hotel window. But that version didn't match the woman Deborah was. Deborah wasn't a sex worker. Her friends immediately dismissed the claim. She had spoken about Emmanuel, how sweet he was, how thoughtful. She never mentioned any exchange of money. In fact, sources said she even lent him money to complete the hotel bill that night. It was a small amount, but it showed the dynamic. She trusted him. Other students from her apartment complex confirmed seeing them together before. Neighbors in Emmanuel's dorm recognized her. This wasn't a random hookup. This was something that had been growing, which made it all the more chilling. What do you think about this tragic event? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. There was no evidence of a ritual killing. Her body was intact. So why would a man kill a woman who liked him? The answer is brutal in its simplicity. Robbery. According to several theories and police analysis, Emmanuel likely had one goal from the start: to rob Deborah. Maybe it was her tablet, her iPhone, her lifestyle. He saw something valuable, something he wanted, and he had a plan. Perhaps that night, as Deborah slept, he tried to sneak her things. Maybe she caught him. Maybe she confronted him. That moment of confrontation likely became a turning point. And in that moment, Emmanuel made a decision, one that would cost Deborah her life. What shocked investigators was just how methodical Emmanuel had been. No one saw it coming. He wasn't loud, wasn't obviously dangerous, and that made him more terrifying. He took his time to earn Deborah's trust. He studied her, he made her feel safe, and then when the moment came, he killed her, fast, quiet, and clean. This wasn't about passion or rage, this was a predator hiding in plain sight, and unfortunately, this isn't a rare story. The narrative Emmanuel tried to spin, claiming Deborah was a prostitute and things just got out of hand, is an old, tired script. It's one that's been used by countless predators to dehumanize their victims, to shift blame, and to muddy public perception. But the facts remained. Deborah was a student. She was helpful, she was trusting, and she was killed because she believed someone's kindness was real. That is the most heartbreaking truth of all. The news spread like wildfire. Local and national media picked up the case. People were furious. The hotel faced backlash for its lack of security. Students marched in protest, demanding justice. Emmanuel was arrested and charged with murder and robbery. He showed no remorse, just excuses. Deborah's family buried her in a quiet ceremony, surrounded by a community that had been shaken to its core. Her mother spoke only once. She trusted him. That was her only mistake. Deborah's case reignited a conversation that refuses to go away. How women are targeted not just for their bodies, but for their trust. In a world of performative romance, some predators will play the long game. They'll pretend to love, pretend to care, just to get close enough to hurt. That's what makes these crimes so chilling. It's not the violence itself, it's the mask that comes before it. Deborah didn't die because she was careless. She died because she was kind. Young women out there, especially those just stepping into adulthood, this story is a gut punch. It's a reminder that not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions. That sometimes, danger wears cologne and holds your hand. But it's not just a message of fear. It's a call to be vigilant, to trust your instincts, to take your time before giving someone access to your space, your height, your life. Deborah Miles should have been at her graduation in December 2025. She should have taken photos in her gown. She should have danced at her party. She should have lived. Instead, she became a cautionary tale, a statistic, a hashtag. But in telling her story like this, she becomes something else. Proof. Proof that kindness must be protected, that predators don't always look like monsters, that sometimes they call you babe, buy you food, and wait until the lights go out. Emmanuel Gamble may rot in a cell, but no prison sentence will restore what was taken. For Deborah's family, the loss is permanent. For the women who hear her story, the fear becomes real. But it doesn't end there. Let it birth wisdom. Let it birth change. Let Deborah Miles be remembered not as a victim, but as a young woman who believed in good and who deserved so much better. Let her name be a whisper in every hotel hallway, every text message sent at midnight, every new connection made online. Protect your light, because not everyone you meet wants to see you shine. Thanks for watching Crime Whisper. If this story gripped you, like, comment, and subscribe for more disturbing true crime that lurks in plain sight.